Trump 2024 may be dying before it even starts. In multiple new 2024 Republican polls, Ron DeSantis is leading Donald Trump. And this is before Trump makes his big announcement tonight, which we will talk about in a moment. There are two arguments about the importance of this, which we will talk about in a moment. First and foremost, there is a YouGov America poll, and it asked Republicans, do you prefer DeSantis or Trump in 2024? Republicans and Republican leaners say 42% Ron DeSantis, 35% Donald Trump, 10% neither, 13% not sure. Now, the neither and the not sure could make the difference and push it back to Trump. But we are now, for the first time, getting these types of numbers. This poll was conducted November 9 to 11, meaning it was after the 2022 midterm. And indeed, it would be a logical causation to infer, although for now we can say it's a correlation, it could be a causation, that Trump's controversial and sort of like contested endorsements in 2022 that went bad, that includes Kari Lake, although we didn't know about that until yesterday, Mehmet Oz, Doug Mastriano, etc., that the failure of those endorsements has reinvigorated support for someone other than Trump. Now, you might say, well, David, sir, with total respect and tears in my eyes, that's only one poll. Well, there are now multiple polls that show DeSantis leading. Yes, there's a new Morning Consult poll in which Trump is still winning. However, we now have a CWS research poll in Texas, which shows Texas prefers DeSantis over Trump 43 to 32. That's a pretty big deal. We have a Georgia Republican primary poll from WPA Intelligence, which shows DeSantis plus 20 over Trump. We have one in Florida, which shows DeSantis plus 26 over Trump. New Hampshire, DeSantis plus 15. Iowa, DeSantis plus 11. And one from the Association for Canadian Studies for a general national primary, which shows DeSantis plus 2. This changed right after November 8th. Now, there's two arguments here. Argument one is that this is all completely irrelevant. Okay? The argument that it's irrelevant is if you actually have Trump and DeSantis running an ugly, contested, snippy primary against each other, Trump will do the same sort of stuff that he did in 2016, making fun of people, ridiculing them, being Teflon, and that ultimately DeSantis isn't going to be able to do it, and that DeSantis is going to fall off. There are some major differences, however. Number one, if indeed this is a two-candidate race, Trump versus DeSantis, that's very different than what would have happened, than what did happen in 2015 and 2016, which was you had 18 candidates or 19 candidates to start with. You had a lot of these ones and twos, people polling 1% and 2%, and Trump just would stick it out long enough for one of the ones and twos to fall off, and Trump picks up a point. And then another one of the ones and twos falls off, and Trump picks up another point or two. There was this attrition sort of dynamic. If you just start with really just two candidates in 2024, Trump and DeSantis, with Trump being a known political entity, with Trump already being president, with Trump already losing himself in 2020 and hurting Republicans in 22, you can argue the circumstances are so different that it is not going to be a similar situation. But for the first time, the betting market's now pointing to DeSantis over Trump in the primary, and increasingly polling pointing to DeSantis over Trump. Tonight is the big announcement. Before you go, if you enjoyed this video and want to see more, please make sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel. You can click the subscribe button below or above or wherever it is on your screen. And if you want to support my work even more strongly, the best way is to get a membership at joinpacman.com and subscribe to the podcast for The David Pakman Show. There you can check out interviews, longer clips, and much more. It's on all the big podcasting platforms. Just search for The David Pakman Show, and all the links are also down below in the video description.